Government Canyon is a place that will always be a refuge.
It's a true treasure.
A stone's throw from downtown San Antonio.
We are 12,360 acres of karst preserve over the Edwards Aquifer Recharge Zone. 40 miles of trail, 25 campsites, but the main reason we're here is we're protecting this piece of land. Over half of San Antonio gets their drinking water from areas like this. Hey y'all, welcome back to Government Canyon.
Wow.
Good to see y'all.
Thank you.
Oh, come on. So today's a special day. We've got some of the original players that made this whole Government Canyon experiment come to life.
Connecting with old dear friends. We all bonded over the Government Canyon project. It was something that started many of our careers.
On three, 1, 2, and 3.
The Government Canyon project actually had its beginning in the S&L bailout at the end of the 1980s.
There was a tremendous surge of foreclosures around the state, and Government Canyon was a part of that.
Government Canyon was supposed to be 80,000 homes with 2 golf courses, all over recharge.
It was controversial, and so there were citizens involved.
Supporters of Government Canyon had a vision to protect this property, not only for pure preservation of the Edwards Aquifer, which is one of the most unique resources in the world, but what they also saw was, San Antonio was rapidly growing, and this was the direction it was growing in.
People came together to form the Government Canyon Coalition.
It was over 40 organizations, nonprofits, and just community groups.
40 organizations, that's like herding cats.
San Antonio Water System, Edwards Aquifer Authority, the City of San Antonio.
U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, nonprofits like the Trust for Public Land and the Nature Conservancy, and the list goes on and on and on.
We put in sweat labor, basically, for probably a good 4 years. The right connections were made, and
our hosts tonight are Tim and Karen Hixon.
Powerful people like the Hixons became involved, and
you only need $4.5 million more dollars.
It was magic. It was just magic.
This park's the hill country as we want it to always be.
The words that came out of Tim's mouth were, Deirdre, they're not making land anymore. You need to get the land now.
Government Canyon never would have happened without Tim and Karen Hixon.
Tim and Karen were both commissioners at different times for the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. I know Tim and Karen specifically had a sweet spot for this property.
But for their commitment, their dedication, their philanthropy, their relationships, and kind of their stick-to-itiveness, it never would have come to fruition.
President's report.
This visitor center is the Tim and Karen Hixon Visitor Center.
They basically anchored the campaign in order to raise the funds to do it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there.
Government Canyon State Natural Area, October 14, 2005.
Tim and Karen's impact on this movement is felt well beyond the landscape itself, because there are so many of us who were personally mentored and affected by them.
I credit them entirely with my love of the outdoors and with getting into work in conservation.
What the Hixons did for me personally was open my eyes to a model of land conservation that really involved philanthropy at its core. Putting their own passion and wealth into a project was mind-bending to me at the time. Since then, I've done projects from San Antonio to San Francisco at a major level, and that is the model. I refer to it now as the playbook, and Tim and Karen showed me the way.
I first met Tim and Karen going back to my days at the Nature Conservancy. We worked very closely together on the Edwards Aquifer Protection Program. And what a wonderful advocate she was for all things outdoors and parks and natural resources when she was a Parks and Wildlife Commissioner.
Karen Hixon is today one of my closest friends. She's often underestimated because of her quiet nature, but she's a force.
2, 3.
Whether it was the World Birding Center or the creation of Government Canyon or the Big Game Awards at the Texas Wildlife Association or the soon-to-be-opened Palo Pinto Mountain State Park, Karen and Tim just found ways to give back in ways that were always bigger than themselves.
Were it not for people like Tim and Karen, initiatives like this would not be occurring.
We always felt that Government Canyon would be this beautiful central park to the area, and now it is truly just an island of beautifulness.
Government Canyon was the start of recharge zone protection for protecting our drinking water in San Antonio.
Government Canyon was kind of one of the inaugural public-private partnerships that brought together all of these different funding streams and partners to realize a vision that was bigger than any one of them could have accomplished. Really a template for these other extraordinary places around the state that have since been conserved, places like the Powderhorn Ranch or the Fawcett Wildlife Management Area, Palo Pinto Mountains State Park.
Palo Pinto, Honey Creek, none of those would have been done without a combination of philanthropic support and public funds. The hardest thing that we have to do is to spend today's dollars and make difficult political decisions on behalf of people who are not born. And the two of them always understood that the impact of their generosity and their political support is for people who are not here yet, future generations.
You got everybody?
We got them all.
If it weren't for that vision that the Hixons had, we would not be here today enjoying this great state natural area.
It would be a sea of housing, and that's what they predicted at the time.
It shows that you have to find a way today to protect properties, to find places for rejuvenation and recharge for our resources and for our spirits. And that was exactly what the Hixons did, is they envisioned what was going to happen and they got in front of it.
The number of people that have been coming into the state natural area today, that was something we always dreamed of.
We now have protected open space that generations of Texans from all over will forever get to see and use and enjoy.
It started at 4,700 and it's now over 12,000 acres. So the seed planted with this property has left a legacy.
Thank goodness for the generosity of folks like Karen and Tim who knew that we had to do this.